How's it going, everybody? It is Dennis, and we're back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about my portfolio and going over my December dividends and option income that I have made. Yes, it's already been December. December's already passed. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy holidays that have passed. And it is 2024 now, going into a new year, new gains to be made, and of course, gains to be gone over, as we're going to be going over today on the December gains. So let's go ahead and waste no time and get straight into it. So as always, I love being transparent as possible. I start this video, all my videos off with that. I love being transparent as possible. I love showing my account, showing my gains, my losses, all of that sorts. And as well, I am not a financial advisor, just letting that know. I am not a financial advisor. As you can see, only stonks. Got that hat for Christmas. Pretty nice. So let's go ahead and get into it after all those messages. So starting off with December, let's see what income we have made. Of course, on the left side of the screen, I'm going to have all the income that I made from dividends and as well as options straight from the Robinhood account. And on the right, we're going to have the Excel sheet, or in this case, the Google Sheets. So on the left, we have Schwab US REIT ETF that has given us $3.28 for the month of December, or in other words, SCHH. As you can see, in November, we did not receive a dividend for that dividend stock or ETF, but for December, we did. We also have ExxonMobil, which I don't put on the list because it's quite a little dividend. It's only 4 cents. Then we have EFC, or Ellington Financial, which is the first distribution that they gave out in December 13th, which is $3.66. As you can see in EFC on the spreadsheet, it is $12.82. And that is because EFC later on in the month gave us another $9.16. So that is very good from EFC. Of course, Ellington Financial. Then we move into the YieldMax ETFs, which of course are the big winners for most of the months. So we have YieldMax or CONY ETF, which is $123.22. Beating last month's or November's month of $51.52. We also have YieldMax AMZY, which paid out $88.94, not beating the last payout of $100.52, actually doing a little bit worse by roughly $12. But anyways, it's a pretty good dividend. Then we move on to APLY, which paid us $30.64, beating APLY's payment from November. So as you can see, we have 2 payments that beat the previous ones, and then one that did a little bit worse, but those 2 kind of carry the other one that did less. And then we have the big boy TSLY, which paid $354.05, beating last month's of $325.70. So YieldMax ETFs, as always, carrying my portfolio when it comes to dividends, paying out high dividends, and giving me a quite good return. Then, of course, we have the last one. Can't leave this one behind. It's GOOY, and GOOY paid $7.48. As you can see, November, I did not get a payout for it because I was not invested in GOOY just yet before the ex-dividend date. I actually invested after the payment of the dividend. So with GOOY, I am increasing my position on it, and as you can see, it wasn't reinvested because it was not enough to buy a single share, so I just received it in cash. Then we move on to Stag. Stag paid us, as you can see on the spreadsheet, $3.91. Then we have Main Street Capital that paid us $10.51, but as you can see here, it says $3.91. That is because later on, as you can see, they also paid $5.68. Then, of course, we have SPHD, which paid us $3.01, as you can see on the spreadsheet. We also have Ellington Financial once again that paid the $9.16. The Main again that paid the additional $5.68. Then we also have the Wisdom Tree Growth ETF with Dividend Growth ETF, which is DGRW, which paid us $2.73. And then we have the Dividend High Yielding Dividend, or DHS, which paid us $23.22. So just from dividends alone for December, we received $663.81, beating last month's of $587.04. Now, moving on to option income. If you guys have not already looked at the screen, you could probably see it. You could probably see it on the spreadsheet that there is a negative sign on that option income, and we're going to go ahead and get into it right now. So let's move into the RIOT platform's history page. So why is there a negative at the RIOT option income for the month of December? Well, we did a couple misplays. By we, I mean I did a couple misplays. I went a little bit too aggressive and I tried saving my position. So what happened? Well, let's go ahead and take a look. Of course, for some reason, when it comes to options and trading options, Robinhood really doesn't like showing plus and minuses, so we have to kind of go through these ourselves. So if we look at RIOT, we went over here and bought back 2 contracts to then go ahead and sell contracts. We then went ahead and bought more contracts back. As you can see, we bought 2 contracts for $794. That is our first negative of the month. We then sold 2 contracts for $132. We then bought back 1 contract at $405. Then we went ahead and sold some more. This is another buy. We bought another one for $4. I'm pretty sure that was a put. Then we went ahead and sold one. It was a put, in fact. We rolled more positions, and then we had our big negative. Right here, we went ahead and bought back 6 contracts. We bought 6 contracts for a total of $16.92. Now, you might be asking, why did I buy back my contracts? Well, these were covered calls, as you can see, that I went ahead and rolled up to a higher position. The reason for why I took the negative on this month and I rolled up was because they were below my average cost for RIOT. Therefore, at the moment, I think from the time of being rolled up, the original contract was at $11.50 per contract. I think it says somewhere around here. Yes, $11.50 per contract, and I rolled them to $16.50 per contract. I then now rolled them up to $20 per contract to where they're sitting very high and very nice, as you're going to see later on. The reason for rolling it is because my average cost for RIOT is $14.50. And if I was to go ahead and keep it at $11.50, I would have lost roughly $3 per share, meaning I have 900 contracts equaling 9 contracts equaling 900 shares. I would have lost a good chunk of change for that sell of the contract, because it would have to go through. Obviously, when you have a contract below the strike price, your contract is going to be exercised, and I would have lost more than what I would have lost if I did not do so. Now, of course, we can see the negative on my account. It is negative $13.87. If we scroll up, I did recover a little bit money back by selling more contracts. As you can see, I sold more contracts and I rolled up to the $20 strike price, where it's set now until the end of January. Why did I do so? Well, if you guys did not watch the previous video, which will be right here by me in the top right corner, I have decided to switch my option strategy to monthly trades. Of course, with cover calls, I said I would keep them weekly, but at the moment I wasn't busy with school, so I was not trying to control my covered calls. So I decided just to roll it for next month and let it do its course. And of course, I'm looking to exit off RIOT position coming very soon once Bitcoin reaches its highs. But besides that, as you can see, we are at negative $13.87. And yes, it is a sad sight to see for the option income, but that is something you have to take sometimes. Sometimes you do have to take losses. And this time around, I played my cards wrong. RIOTs spiked very high with Bitcoin, which I was not accounting for, and therefore I was playing very risky. For playing very risky and getting high yields, I got burnt. Of course, I had to roll up. I lost some chunk change, but at least now I am up high in the $20 contract zone. What does that mean for me? Well, technically that negative $13.87 is not a negative $13.87, since my average cost is $14.50 and my contracts are at $20. If RIOT continues on the uptrend that it has been going towards, up to $20 by the end of January, I will be up on my shares. Since $14.50 is my average, I will be roughly up $5.50 per share, meaning I'll be up $550 on every 100 shares I hold, right? Yeah, I think that math is correct. Just trying to do a quick math in the head, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. $550, meaning on all my 900 shares, I will have roughly, I don't know, what is that, like $5,000 roughly of gains, meaning 5,000 minus $13.87 plus the contracts that I'll be trading. If it doesn't hit 20, it'll be roughly a $3,000, $4,000, or we'll say a $3,000 gain. So yes, It is sad to see a negative 1387 on the account for RIOT, but this does not come to the account that RIOT is going to be skyrocketing higher and that I could sell my contracts and sell off my position for a $5,000 gain. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens in the rest of the month of January. But moving on to MARA, which gave us $222 for the month of December. So with MARA, we didn't take a lot of trades. I kind of left this position because MARA is way more volatile than RIOT. MARA spiked up to the $23 zone while RIOT's still down below the 20s. And it's a little less volatile than MARA. With MARA, we did do a couple of trades. As you can see, we bought back to 3 positions for $12. We then sold 2 positions for $53. We rolled for a $28. We rolled again for $48, and then we rolled for $118 and bought back them for $10. So we made $222. Not bad. It's a pretty good amount. And of course, for the total, we came out to negative $1,165 for just option income. And then when we rounded up to the grand total, it came out to negative $500 and $501.19. Of course, kind of disappointing that of course our cash value is at negative 501, meaning the cash that we took home, we actually had to pay $501 to the market. Of course, like I said before, this does not come to account of the RIOT position I'm still holding, the 900 shares I'm still holding, and I'm going to be holding until the full run of the contracts is done. If it expires past the contract price, which is $20, and we can bring it up right here for you, so being transparent as possible. If we go over to RIOT, and we can go over to, as you can see, we have a $20 contract call. As you can see, we're up roughly 42.86% at the moment at $513 on these calls. So it's doing pretty well. It's doing pretty well. RIOT is at $15. It did crash from its $19 high, I'm pretty sure it was. So, but it's heading towards the back up to the upside. Of course, there were sell-offs on the S&P 500 and on Bitcoin before the new year and after the new year. Of course, they're changing their, a lot of companies, a lot of people or brokerages are changing their directions and investments for the new year. And of course, they're tax harvesting, so it makes kind of sense. But for now, it seems like we're heading to a good start to the year. I expect this contract to, if it hits, of course, like I said, we'll take $5,000 of profit home minus the losses we had with the contracts, as well as the profit from this contract as well. So if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, we'll roll for the next month, and we'll keep going. We'll keep it high. We'll keep it above our average cost of RIOT. And honestly, this is just a learning experience for me. Like I said, all of this is just a learning experience to me. This is why I keep it open, why I keep it keep making these videos, and I show it to you guys so you guys don't make the same mistakes as me. Remember, never trade under your average cost. Always keep it above your average cost. Even if the premium is lower, keep it above there so you don't get burned in case it shoots up high. And that goes for covered calls. Of course, with puts, never trade above the cost of the stock unless you really think that the stock will go up higher than your cost. So that has been December. We did lose $501.19, a sad sight to see, but overall not that bad of a loss if you think about it in retrospect. Since last month, we did gain $1,600, which kind of offsets the last month being a loss. And with every other month we had previously being all gainers, December wasn't that bad. I guess we can write it off in taxes. But yeah, that has been me. Thank you everybody for watching. My name is Dennis, and I appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate everybody for subscribing and liking the videos. We are at 400 subs plus, and we're still skyrocketing to the moon. Hopefully we get to 1,000 soon, and we'll keep pumping out these videos. So I'll see you guys in the next week. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see what happens in the month of January in the year of 2024. See you guys.